Well, I'm just sitting here remembering some times I spent working with the great Mr. Bruce Hornsby. It all started out when my very good friend Laura Creamer, who I'd worked with off and on since our first meeting, which was practically on stage for her first show with Bob Seger, but more about that in another blog. She rang me up, said Bruce Hornsby was looking for another singer to support this new tour, so we had a few rehearsals, many study nights at home for me, and gearing up for the road, and off we went. Now, if you've ever gone to one of his concerts, you might have witnessed that he appears very relaxed and focused, as did I. And we'd been on the road for a few weeks, and aside from the set list that we would start out with, he would, a number of tunes into the set, start to tear up the list, literally. Turn to the audience and tell them to write down songs you would like to hear me play on a napkin and send it up. Oh, what on earth? I've never heard of such a thing. Oh, but he was that prolific. He could launch into just about anything and do it extremely well. And if he had an artist that came to see the show, they might be on the side of the stage facing him. So he'd see them over there and would start playing one of their songs, sometimes in mid-song of wherever he was playing in the set at the time. So Laura and I would kind of huddle off for a moment or two and set up some backgrounds and join in, basically. So now that includes the time that Keith Jarrett came to see one of the shows and a favorite artist of Bruce's, and he started playing one of his tunes. And if you've ever listened to him, you know that that's no easy feat. He's a consummate jazz player. Anyway, he started playing one of his tunes, even if it was, you guessed it, in the middle of another song. Of course, most of the band would just sort of fade out playing, and it would be just Bruce and the great John Molo, an amazing drummer that Bruce had worked with for many years, who seemed to be able to read Bruce's mind on where he was going at any second at the drop of a hat. So he was totally on point, and you could see a big grin on Keith Jarrett's face. Just astounding. Oh boy, but early on, at this point, he started doing some second line songs, Cajun type music, and which included some Leon Russell music, and then he drifted into a Bob Dylan song called It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. And we did that combo for a bit, which was so cool. However, one night, he was in the solo part of that song, and he looked up to me and he said, "Hey, Sean, do you want to sing on this?" Of course I said no, because I don't know the words. So I relaxed then, and he came back out of the solo, leaned into the mic, and I thought, he's going to start singing. But instead he said, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Shawn Murphy." I about fainted. Here we were, playing in front of thousands of people, and I didn't know the words. Sort of like that nightmare you have when you're running around and you realize you forgot your clothes. Well, anyway, needless to say, I did what I knew I could do. I sang my heart out. It just didn't contain any words. Don't you know, when I went back to the hotel and woodshedded on that song, never to be in that position if he ever pulled that again, which, of course, he did. As it turned out, that song has become one of my signature tunes in my solo act, and I love doing it. So, anyway, well, I'm going to end this with a little cool vid, which is part of a full-length special we did for the album Night on the Town, with special guests like Jerry Garcia, Bella Fleck, Jimmy Wood, David Mansfield, the great Joe Henderson, and Sean Coven. So I never got a copy of the full video, but it was really wonderful. Let me know if you can find it. And you'll have to go to the website to see the video, as well as the pictures that I have in this blog, because they won't show up in this little audio thing that I've attached to it as well, if you want to hear the words spoken, that kind of thing. Anyway, so wrapping it up for now, but more Bruce Hornsby to be continued in another blog. There's just too many other vids I want to share with you. So until next time.